This is your source for local news in the Heartland. This is KTVO's Good Morning Heartland.
And welcome back. We're live from Kelly's Furniture and Carpet One, which means we are cooking this morning. And once again, we're joined by Jo Manhart, also known as the Egg Lady.
Thank you very much.
Welcome back. Happy New Year.
Thank you. You guys remember this weather? It can't last.
No, unfortunately, it probably won't.
I remember I couldn't clear our driveway, and we had 22 inches of, so we were in for 3 days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, in Columbia. So, on that note, let's
What are we
cheer things up.
making?
While we're trapped in the house with 22 inches of snow on the ground, which might happen or might not, we can make bacon, egg, and cheese bread. And this is what it looks like when it's done, and it's got only 5 ingredients.
Oh,
It
wow.
has got bought biscuits. These are called Grand's flaky biscuits, but I think any biscuit would work.
Okay.
And I'm always amazed. I was old enough to remember when this started, and that's still a mystery to me, these twisty things. It's got cooked and crumbled bacon in it.
All right.
And of course, it's got eggs in it. It's actually got 8 eggs in it. And the last ingredient, the last 2 ingredients are cheese, your regulation package of cheese, which is 2 cups, and green chilies, which I just learned that there is a terrific green chili soup recipe, which I'm going to have to look up.
Fantastic.
So our friend on my right has already had practice in cutting up these biscuits, and she wants to cut them up until they are,
So little
each
pieces.
biscuit will get cut into 4 pieces. So I suggested that you cut
With
them
your
in
kitchen
half.
shears, not your office scissors.
I think your office scissors might work.
Well, they could. but they might go
And
into
in the
paper.
meantime, I'm going to discuss pans in a minute.
Okay.
In the meantime, I've got 7 eggs already broken in here, and I'm going to break egg number 1 so that nobody will have any doubt that there's eggs in there. Egg number 1 goes in there, which makes a total of 8 eggs. And I'm going to, you can't really see over that. Okay. So, I did this on a TV show, and the host was doing it, and she said, "What is this called?" In case you're wondering, it's called an egg beater. And it predated KitchenAid.
All right.
Okay.
So after
It
that's
does a
all
good
done,
job.
what do we do next?
Okay, then we put the other ingredients in, which turn out to be,
Should I be going faster?
oh, you're fine.
All right.
We're going to end up together. This
Okay.
is the whole can of
And we
green
just want
chilies
to add it all
ungrained.
into the bowl that we have the eggs in,
Right,
correct?
and we put in the bacon. That's a whole pound of bacon, and the cheese.
And you can use any kind of cheese you'd like?
Well, the recipe calls for cheddar. Most recipes call for cheddar because cheddar is usually highly flavored,
Okay.
and most people like it. But you probably could use a mild cheese if you wish.
Okay.
So
Well,
after
you put your bacon in the microwave. A lot of people put it on the skillet, but you can also put it in the microwave.
Actually, I did this in the skillet and reheated it a little bit in the microwave so that it would look pretty and glossy the way it should. But to make bacon in the microwave, you really need to watch it. Okay.
And so
And
then
then
you
you
pour it all
combine
into-
these together, and then you pour it into your waiting pan.
Okay.
And I want to talk about pans.
All right. We have less than a minute, so we gotta...
Okay. This is, I bought new, and it's got a non-stick.
go.
It's got a non-stick finish. I like to buy things used, and they all had marks in the bottom. So I thought, I don't want that. I want a new one. Well, things tend to stick. So yesterday I bought this one, which you can't hurt. But today I'm telling you, why don't you just make it in 2 loaf pans? And this is what the finished product looks like.
Well, before we get to that,
What?
can we go ahead and let people know how long we're going to bake it for?
I'm so glad you came. 350.
350.
You pour all
and
this
you
into
also
the pan.
and you also put in some oil in here. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All
You
right.
should be a recipe designer.
I should. All right. So then we stick it into the oven and we bake it at
350 for 40 minutes,
for
and
about
40 minutes. 40 minutes.
Okay.
And when it's done, the underside is actually the prettier side. It's all yellow
okay.
and brown and gorgeous.
And welcome back. So we are pretty much done making our, well, actually this is the finished product right here, not over here.
All you need is a blonde on your right and a blonde on your left, and it's easy. It's wonderful. So we're going to bake this in my $10 pan, but I really think that this would do very well in 2 loaf pans because I made this in Joplin. I came home with it, put it in the freezer. A couple of months later, I thought, I probably ought to get rid of that. And I said, no, it still looks good. So I put a little pat of butter on it, laid it in the skillet, and fried it a little bit to make it warm, and then we used it for cold cuts. We had cheese and ham or beef or whatever, and it makes the best sandwiches.
Okay.
So if you don't eat it while it's hot, it
smells
makes
delicious.
wonderful sandwiches, and that's why I think a loaf pan would be a lot easier.
Okay, and then let's just go ahead and go through the ingredients one more time. We have some bacon in there, cheese.
We have a pound of bacon, 8 eggs, 2 cups of cheese.
Green chilies.
Green chilies, and then we used our biscuit already made.
And then we stick it in the oven for 40 minutes at 350.
Oh, you're good.
Yes, I pay attention sometimes, especially when it's food. All right, so we will post all the information on our website along with the recipe. And thank you so much for joining us this morning. I'm Ella Soroka.
And I'm Megan Wise.
Your news will continue tonight with KTVO News at 5, but you can check us out anytime at heartlandconnection.com.
And don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. We hope you have a great day and weekend.
And we'll see you right back here Monday morning at 6 a.m.
Here?